What's going on, everybody? It is Alex from Everything for iPod. Today is Tuesday, September 10th, 2013, which means that Apple's iPhone event was held today where they released their two new iPhones, and I'm going to be recapping the event. Just like any other Apple event, this one started off with some company updates, featuring the iTunes Festival and also showing some retail stores that were opening. Not really the biggest deal in the world, but they do like to show that stuff. Now, very quickly, Apple went over the iOS 7 features. They really ran through them very fast. I was very surprised at that. But they did show all the features, or at least a few of them. I'm not really going to go too far in depth with that because I've already covered that back in June when iOS 7 was announced. So if you want to see my full in-depth tour of iOS 7, go ahead and check it out. I'll put a link down in the description. But they did announce that iOS 7 will be available on September 18th on the iPhone 4 and later, the iPad 2 and later, and the iPod Touch 5th generation as a free download. So stay tuned for that and go ahead and check that out once it's available to the public. Now, as Apple was wrapping up with their iOS 7 features, they did talk about some of the creativity apps they have, which would be the iWork suite, the iPhoto app, and the iMovie app, all available on iOS, which used to all be paid apps, but now they're offering them all for free with the purchase of a new iOS device. When you first set up your device, it will ask you if you would like to download these apps for free, and if you click yes, obviously you will be downloading all of those apps for free. So that's really neat. In previous years, every time Apple would release a new iPhone, the older generation would be available at a lower cost. This year, they said they're not doing that, and instead they're having two new iPhone models instead of one, but they're no longer going to offer the iPhone 5 anymore. Now, the two iPhone models were pretty much the same iPhone models that everyone was expecting, but we did get some of the specs cleared up and some new features that we didn't expect to get as well. First off, Apple talked about the iPhone 5C, which is pretty much an iPhone 5 enclosed in a plastic case rather than metal, and it will be offered at a cheaper price than the iPhone 5 or the new iPhone 5S. Apple says the new iPhone 5C is more fun, more colorful, and more affordable than the premium quality iPhone. The back of the iPhone 5C is made of a hard-coated polycarbonate, and it is steel reinforced on the inside, so it still should be pretty strong and hold up to drops and scratches and everything, but we'll definitely have to check that out once it's released to the public. Now, for protection, Apple is starting to make their own cases again, so they do have an iPhone 5C case that is available in a wide variety of colors. It will be available for $29, and it is made out of a soft fell silicone rubber, so it's very grippy, and it does have holes cut in along the back, as you can see, so you will be able to see the original color of your iPhone through the case, and you'll be able to mix and match colors and kind of have some fun with your phone. As far as colors for the actual phone goes, you have blue, white, pink, yellow, and green to choose from. Now, the internals, like I said, are pretty much the same as the iPhone 5. You still have an Apple A6 processor, but there were pretty much only two changes made to the actual specs, and that would be the front-facing camera is slightly better, and you do have a slightly bigger battery than the iPhone 5's battery, which will hopefully give you some better battery performance. Now, the one thing that people did not know was what the price was going to be for the iPhone 5C. Rumors originally were that the iPhone 5C would be priced around the $300 or $400 mark, and that would be unlocked off contract. Apple made it $99 for 16 gigabytes and $199 for 32 gigabytes of storage, and that is on a 2-year contract, which is only $100 cheaper than the iPhone 5 and the iPhone 5S was. Now, for the iPhone 5S, which is of course the premium quality iPhone and looks exactly like the iPhone 5, of course, you add the S to the end, you add some new features, and there's your new iPhone for the year. First, as far as specs go, you have the Apple A7 processor inside, which is the first 64-bit chip ever to be in a smartphone. Apple has optimized all of their stock apps that come on the phone to run on the 64-bit chip, but the iPhone 5S still will run 32-bit apps, so you can still run older apps in the App Store that haven't been updated. The A7 will give you much better performance, faster graphics, everything like that you would expect from a new chip from Apple. I'm really excited to try it out, and it does say that it has a significant increase from the iPhone 5 performance. Should be a much faster phone. Now, something new alongside the Apple A7 processor is the new M7 Motion coprocessor, which will handle all the tasks from the accelerometer, the gyroscope, and the compass, taking some stress off of the A7 chip, making your phone run faster, and it will also open up some new doors for fitness apps. Should be pretty cool to play around with. Just like in the iPhone 5C, in the iPhone 5S, we have a bigger battery compared to the iPhone 5 that will now allow up to 250 hours of standby time, which I'm really excited for. I don't know whether that 250 hours is so accurate or not. We'll just have to see. Something Apple covered a lot during the presentation was the camera. Now, it has a bigger aperture. The f-stop is 2.2 versus the old 2.4 in the iPhone 5. You have a 15% larger active sensor area with a 1.5 micron pixel sensor. Should give you some very nice image quality. And when you snap a picture, it actually takes multiple versions of the picture and chooses the best one. So you'll be able to get some really nice images using that. There's also a new 10 frames per second burst mode, so you should be able to get some good action shots and sports pictures using that. And there's also a 120 frames per second slow motion video feature. That is going to be awesome. I can't wait to try that. That is my favorite feature of the camera. It records at 720p, not a full 1080p HD, but still it should look pretty nice. Also, panorama images are now taken at 28 megapixels, and it allows you to adjust the exposure as you move the camera, so that will allow for some better images. You won't have any more washing out or overexposed images when you're taking your panorama shots. And lastly, on the camera, you have your new True Tone flash, which actually has two LEDs that are different colors, and it will clash the color against what color the room is, and also against your skin color. It will give you some more accurate colors, and Apple says the two flashes combined can create over 1,000 different color variations for the flash. Now the feature that I'm most excited about on the iPhone 5S is the Touch ID fingerprint sensor, which is basically a sensor on the home button that will allow you to enter your phone using just your fingerprint instead of a passcode lock. That should save you some time. And also if you're downloading an app in the App Store or a song or video or something in the iTunes Store, when you're downloading it, instead of typing in your passcode, you can just use your fingerprint. That will also save you some time. Now, Touch ID can handle multiple fingerprints in case you share a device, and it will never share your fingerprint through an Apple server or through iCloud. It always just remains on your device, so you don't have to worry about some security flaws or people hacking into the servers or anything. Your passcode will only remain on your phone. Just like the iPhone 5C, the iPhone 5S does have a case which is made out of leather and is $39. Of course, you're going to get a premium case for a premium phone and a little bit of a cheaper case for a cheaper phone. So plasticky and polycarbonate on the iPhone 5C, and then a leather case which comes in multiple colors for the iPhone 5S. The price for the iPhone 5S is staying exactly the same as it was for the iPhone 5. You have 16 gigabytes for $199, of course on a 2-year contract, 32 gigs for $299, or 64 gigs for $399. Some people were expecting a 128 gigabyte version, but that is not available. However, there are new color options. You still have a white and silver version, but now there are 2 new colors. You have your gold or champagne and white, as well as a graphite and black, which is slightly a lighter shade of black than the older version. However, you're not going to have your true black anymore. Still a black screen, but the gray on the back is a little bit of a lighter shade, so 3 colors, black and gray, white and gold, and white and silver. The iPhone 5S and 5C pre-orders will start on September 13th, and it will officially go on sale on September 20th. And again, iOS 7 will be available for download on September 18th. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Let me know down in the comments what color you like best on the iPhone 5C and what iPhone 5S color is your favorite. I'll definitely be picking up an iPhone 5S, maybe an iPhone 5C, so I'd like to know what your favorite color combos are. Let me know. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and also like this video if you enjoyed it. Thanks, and I'll catch you in my next video.